Hey guys, and welcome back to another classic gold farming video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you a low level gold farm that has some really good potential to make a lot of gold. Before we get into it, I'd just like to say that I have a gold making guide for classic World of Warcraft. If you want to check it out, it is linked down below. It goes over all of the best gold farms while leveling and also at 60. Let's get into this gold farm. So we're going to be doing this over in wetlands, and we're going to be farming the Crimson Whelps. So there's a whole heap of these red little dragons, and these are the mobs that we're going to be farming. Now if you have skinning, this will also increase the amount of gold you make from this farm. They have a chance to drop in the tiny Crimson Whelpling, which is a pet. The main item that we're going to be farming for is the small flame sacks. Now these sell really good on the auction house. And obviously if you have skinning, you'll get a bunch of different materials from skinning these mobs. So I highly recommend having skinning when doing this farm. So at this location, there's a few different mobs. They're all around level 25. There are some that are casters and there are some that do melee. They're pretty much the exact same mob. There's just a caster version and also a melee version. They all have the same drop table, so you can farm either one of them. It does not matter. They're pretty far spread out around this location, and there is literally hundreds of these. And as you can see, we actually just got a small flame sack on the very first kill. Obviously the drop rate of these isn't super high, so don't expect to get one every single kill, but you shouldn't end up with a bunch of these small flame sacks. And these are used in professions and sell extremely good up on the auction house, especially while we're in such an early phase of classic. So basically what you want to do is you just want to go around and kill all of these mobs. On top of all the materials and the pet, you also get a bunch of different BOEs from here. There's some green ones, there's a couple blue ones that you can get from these guys. So if you're lucky enough to get your hands on a blue, definitely throw that up on the auction house. And also some of the green BOEs are definitely worth putting up on the auction house. Obviously some of them you'll just want to vendor or disenchant, but go ahead and check the price on the auction house before you go ahead and vendor any of them or disenchant any of them. Overall, this is a really good farm to do, especially at a low level. This will really help you out with having enough gold by the time you reach level 40 for your mount, 100%. So what you can do, you can come here at around like level 25 and grind all the way up to level 30 if you really wanted to. And if you did that, you'd end up with a bunch of gold by the end of it. You might even be lucky enough to get the tiny Crimson Whelpling, which will sell for a lot of gold, and that will really bump up the amount of gold you make from doing this grind. But this is a great spot to actually come on either Alliance or Horde. It is pretty far for Horde, but once you get down here, especially if you're on a PvE server, you should have a pretty good time down here. Once you get here, you shouldn't die or nothing like that, so you won't have to go back to any vendors to repair. So you come here and put in a solid grinding session and make a bunch of gold from being down here. Obviously, if you're Alliance, it's extremely easy and quick to get here. It's just at wetlands, so you can just fly up to wetlands or run up, and you can get to farming right away. Another thing, as you can see, we just got a red whelp scale. These also are used for professions, and these sell fairly good up in the auction house. On my realm at the moment, they actually sell for a lot of gold. So these plus the small flame sacks are what are selling for the most amount of gold out of all these things. Obviously the price of all the different leathers from skinning, they aren't crazy just because we're in such a fresh economy. So what I do with all the things that I skin except the red whelp scales is I go ahead and vendor them for some raw gold. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, and also if you want to see a skinning farm where you can make a bunch of raw gold, I'll have a picture of it up on the screen right now, and you can click that and it'll send you over to watch that video. Also subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be bringing out daily videos about making gold on classic World of Warcraft, so don't miss out.